Oh, this sucked. This sucked so hard. Mike, that sucked so hard.
A modern podcast where Chris and Mike talk about TV, movies, superheroes, and everything in between. It's time for Superhero Slate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris Dillard.
And my name is Mike Royer.
And this week, Marvel and DC traded some blows with a bunch of stuff, including Guardians of the Galaxy photos, a Justice League trailer, new Spider-Man teaser posters, and more.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. That's Marvel's way of fighting back against a new Justice League trailer, which I guess is considered the first official trailer because it's not that Comic-Con footage. So they're just like, oh, let's just throw a bunch of posters at them. Let's just throw a bunch of art and posters, and then people will just forget the Justice League trailer after it came out. So I thought that was kind of some funny strategy. I don't think it worked, but it was funny to see happen because it's just like, I feel like when the weekend comes around, especially for news, it's always very low-key stuff. You know, I was actually surprised we got a Justice League trailer on a Saturday because usually, they try to tie this stuff with, like, TV shows or sporting events or something. But it was just kind of like, yeah, it's just going to drop on Saturday. It was just kind of there when I woke up in the morning. So, and then Marvel threw out some posters and stuff. I was like, what is going on? This is the weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting Saturday. And I say this because I actually did go and see Power Rangers this weekend.
Yeah, you did.
And we were talking with the guys I was going to go see it with. I was like, man, it'd be really cool to see this Justice League trailer before Power Rangers. But they put it out on a Saturday, so we're not going to get to see that. So
Nope.
That was kind of a disappointing realization in real time there. That I couldn't do that.
I am looking forward to talking about this Justice League trailer, though, and we'll be talking about that at the in the last half of the show. So I'm looking forward to digging into that with you.
Yeah, we just got so much here. Like, I was gonna put it at the front, but I mean, we got two sets of Marvel news, I guess, coming on here, and we just finished recording our Iron Fist spoiler cast. Literally just got off recording that. We recorded it first, and it's been a busy week in news, and a lot of this kind of came out of nowhere yet again. Like Wednesday afternoon news. Like, why did they wait till Wednesday afternoon? I don't know.
You can never predict it, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we can never predict things. I never would have predicted the Justice League trailer on Saturday. We'd have been wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anything else going on this week, Mike? I mean, we haven't really talked about that. We just have been talking about
yeah.
news.
I mean, a lot of my time was just taken up with catching up on Iron Fist, getting that ready to go for talking about that today. So yeah, it's been just a low-key, chill week. We're kind of working on some secret stuff in the background for Superhero Slate, and I think you guys will enjoy what we're working on. So keep an eye out, or an ear open, I guess is what they might say if you're in the podcast world. But I think that'll be coming in a May. So look out for that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, our next big movie release is, or I guess spoiler cast is Guardians of the Galaxy. Unless we do that spoiler casting where I talk about Power Rangers and ruin it for you, and you ruin Ghost in the Shell for me, which I don't think is really gonna happen, guys. Sorry, so Guardians is coming up. I'm really excited. We got some news on Guardians. I don't know. I got nothing else, man. I'm just kind of ready to get into it. Like, I'm hyped. Like, all the stuff we're doing in the background, all the stuff we're doing in the foreground with the episodes. I'm hyped, Mike. You already?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's get this first thing out of the way, because I think people will find out very quickly what we thought about this.
Yes, so Iron Fist, our spoiler cast, has been recorded. We kind of talked about first impressions last week, and we kind of break it down. It was pretty long. It was like 50-something minutes of a spoiler cast of Iron Fist. So if you've not seen it, don't listen to it. If you have seen it, feel free to listen to it as many times as you want. It's free. We don't charge for repeat listening. We didn't even charge for the first time listening.
Yeah,
but
we're cool like that. But it is a spoiler cast indeed, so it's full of spoilers. So I guess just real quick, just at the very, very top, what's your review of Iron Fist if people want a spoiler-free review?
You you're not gonna want to run out and watch this right away. It is not the best of the Marvel Netflix team ups, but if you're going to watch the Defenders, which I think we all will, you're going to need to see Iron Fist. So that's about how I would suggest it. So
yeah, it's gonna feel like homework. I did not like it really at all. So and it's unfortunate. So just good luck.
Yeah, good luck. You got to do it because at the end, that Defenders is gonna pay off for us. I feel so go for that.
Yeah, it's like gross tasting medicine. It's like really awful math homework. Let's just hope it doesn't bleed into the Inhumans. That's all we can hope.
Don't binge watch it is my recommendation probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say you're gonna feel I felt every second of it. So don't sit down and try to watch the whole season in a day because you're just gonna be miserable by the end of it. So
yeah, there are. I point this out in the spoiler cast, but obviously, don't listen to that if you haven't seen the show yet. There are one or maybe two shining lights in this that kind of pierce through the mist of crappiness. So maybe you'll see those two, but good luck.
Yeah, Godspeed is what I would say. So do that. But like you said, it may not bleed into the Inhumans. The showrunner for Iron Fist is the same as the Inhumans, as Mike's going to remind me daily until the show is out in September. But right before the show, minutes ago, we got our first official logo revealed for this. Ooh. And it actually uses the font from the 1990s Inhumans run, and I think some early continuing into 2000s. It's really cool. It's got a different background. It's higher resolution. Looks like, is that a sky behind it maybe, or maybe like Terrigen crystal color?
Yeah, I don't know. It does very much look like it's ripped right off of a comic book cover for sure.
Yeah, so it's definitely got the font, the sharp pointy things, kind of weird looking. I don't know what that font is, but it definitely is the font from the comics. So I'm glad they're kind of sticking with that look that we know and love. Because we also have a version of the comic book here, which looks a little less refined, but definitely something from the 90s that you would see in a comic book. Mm-hmm. So any thoughts on that, Mike? You're more the design guy here.
Well, yeah. I mean, the logo looks fine to me, so I'm just more worried about the show.
Yeah, well, I'm less inclined to worry because the more we worry, the more that's going to seep into what we actually feel when we watch. Mike, okay, quit ruining it for yourself. This is you. You're doing this.
All right.
Something I was really hyped about. We found out early, like the day before last week, is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The tickets are now on sale for Volume 2.
Yeah, they are.
I got mine. Mike, you get yours?
Not yet. Right now, my theater that I go to is only selling the 3D tickets right now for the 3D showtime. So I think they kind of roll out more showtimes as other stuff sells out. So I'm just going to have to wait a week or two, which is unfortunate. Because, I mean, they usually have the non-3D stuff ready to go. But I don't think my eyes can take all of the 3D that this movie is going to throw at me. And I don't think I really need that in my life.
Okay, well, I got the first showtime possible. I don't care what it is. It can be in 4D smell-o-vision with bubbles floating down in front of my face the whole time. I don't care. I was going to watch it the earliest I can get it. So I ended up getting tickets for me, my wife, and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law as well. So I got more people going to this premiere than I usually do, which I think is really fun. And they also announced yesterday a double feature. If you want to see Guardians 1 and Guardians 2 back-to-back in the theater, you can do that if you missed the first one in the theater, which... If you missed the first one in the theater, man, you're missing out. That was a good time.
I think that'd actually be a really good back-to-back. We know from personal experience that we went to a big, giant back-to-back premiere for Iron Man 3. So we saw all of the movies before that, and that literally took all day, and that was a little taxing. But I think just these two movies in a row would be very manageable.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And, when we saw Iron Man 3, it wasn't just Iron Man 1, 2. They had to watch the Avengers as well. So it was definitely... interesting to get through that. So I'm glad. Yeah, this 1 and 2 starts at 4, ends at and then the next one starts at 7, I think. I think it'd be a great time, good old time. So if you want to do that, go get your tickets now. Also, Regal Cinemas is offering an unlimited ticket where you can watch it once a day as long as it's in theater. So for like $100, I'm like, you watched 5 showings, you've pretty much made your money out of it. But I don't know if I want to watch it every day or really often. So oh well. Empire Magazine gave us some covers. I don't know if these are high enough resolution for Mike to do his thing.
They're looking good to me.
They're looking good. So the first one is the regular team cover, and it's kind of cool looking. It's got that pink vibe. Some sort of like, I guess, retro-y space vibe behind it. I don't know, but I like the colors on this. The coloration for Guardians 2 is very stylized, very kind of neonish, I would say, and blacklighty. So I really enjoy this poster, or this magazine cover here. I may try to hunt down a copy of this one. But there is an alternate cover with Baby Groot on it, plugging in the Awesome Mix Volume 2 tape.
Of course. I mean, I know this is more of the marketing department than anything else, but I'm getting a little tired of Baby Groot already, which is kind of unfortunate because I think he's going to be really wonderful and fun to watch in the movie. But, I mean, enough. We get it. He's cute and adorable, and we really liked Groot in the first movie. Enough. I've had enough.
Yeah, and that's a subscriber cover, so we won't see it on the shelves, thankfully, so Mike can't go and turn to his like anti-Groot Hulk form while he's out walking down the road. So you can check those Empire covers out online, and along with those, we got some more photos that came out here, including from Empire, including one of Yondu and Rocket face to face here. I'm loving the Michael Rooker look more and more every time I see it, with the taller fin on this and the looks like scars across his head there. And Rocket, just how they made this raccoon look like a walking, talking person and feel like a character is just fantastic from the first one, and I think he looks even better going into the second one. So there's that. Star-Lord and his crew was another photo. They're all looking up at something. I don't know if maybe it was the magazine cover here, but Drax looks a little drab on his color there. Like,
yeah, he's just been rolling around in the dirt, probably.
He's been playing in the dirt. There we go. And then Rocket and little baby Groot's climbing up on something back there. I don't know. Nebula's in chains. She's got her Winter Soldier metal arm going on. So looks like she has not replaced her hand from the first movie. So check that out. And lastly, another one. It was just straight up Ego. Just got one of Ego here. It's a very high resolution one. Ooh.
Yes. I've been doing my Kurt Russell research. Just to let you know, thanks to my wife, we watched the movie, I believe it's called Overboard, that he is in back in the day.
With Goldie Hawn?
Yeah, so it's the first time that I'd ever seen it. So it's an enjoyable movie. It's very fit of his era. But man, Kurt Russell is just always dynamic when he's on screen. So I'm really excited to see what he does in this movie. So go out there and do some Kurt Russell research. Do your Kurt Russell homework. I think you're gonna have a much better time than doing your Defenders Iron Fist homework. That's for sure. But I think it's gonna be cool to see how that pans out. An unfortunate thing from watching Overboard is when you look it up on IMDb, you unfortunately find out that they are remaking the movie, and to kind of bring it all back around, Chris Pratt's wife is going to be playing the Goldie Hawn role, Anna Faris. So I think the movie is going to end up being really, really bad. So hopefully,
Anna Faris kind of looks like a modern Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, but I don't think the remake is going to be very, very good.
Look, you say that about every remake, so I'm just throwing your opinion out the window at this point, Mike. We've
Well,
gotten very efficient at remakes and reboots.
Chris,
we can do.
I think I've just hit a nerve. Don't worry, Chris Pratt and his family will be okay. I think they can take the hit.
They need that money, Mike. They need that reboot and remake money. It worked with Jurassic World, didn't it? They rebooted that.
I think they'll be all right.
The next gallery we have, it looks like trading cards almost for the characters, and they're all in different colors, which I thought was kind of cool. So you go through, and each character has their own little card with their name on it and their own little color.
Someone should
Rocket
print those
got
off
pink.
on.
I thought that was cute.
Someone should print those off on cardstock. Those would actually make pretty cool trading cards.
They probably have them in packs already, Mike, and we just got to go out and find them and buy them because they just want our money. There's more money. And in terms, they got mine. They got mine real quick. As soon as I saw they were on sale, it was gone. One of the other things for Guardians is we found out that Ego's planet, he owns this planet, is the largest visual effects ever, with over 1 trillion polygons on it, apparently.
Whoa.
Real raw pixels or something like that. I don't know what this means, but
Well, I think that kind of fits in with that trailer, the last trailer that we saw. I think you can quote me from last time where I said this was one of those weird instances where I think the CG fest is going to be fun. Because that last trailer was almost, I think, like 80% CG. I think the only real things in it were the physical actors. So it makes sense that a whole planet, is obviously going to be nothing but polygons. So I'm pretty hopeful that it's going to pay off just because in the specific vibe of Guardians of the Galaxy, the kind of universe they're building, it works. So it's okay. You can throw tons of CG at us in that kind of environment, and it works.
Well, and also, I mean, they filmed this with 8K cameras, like, which is, double what we're normally getting with 4K, if not more. So, like, they have to build this stuff in that 8K format, making it that much larger.
Imagine the terabytes and the hard drives and the server sizes that they need to make this freaking movie.
Yeah, they just run out to Best Buy, pick up a 2 terabyte every couple hours, and throw that on there. So I'm really excited to see more. I really am really looking forward to Guardians now that my tickets are purchased. It feels that much closer and that much more real. But I'm also glad they didn't give us a new trailer for the tickets, like I predicted before. So we can go in kind of a little more blind than we are already, or we could have been. So
yeah, we're about 5-6 weeks away, so we're getting close, man.
Yep. I think 5 weeks from Friday, maybe. I don't know. It's the first weekend of May, man. We're ready for it.
Yep.
As soon as it hits, though, the countdown to the next May hits, because that is Avengers Infinity War, Mike, and we are. I can't even believe that's around the corner. Our third Avengers movie, split into 2 by the Russo brothers, featuring all these characters we've grown to see and love, and now we have our first set photo, and it includes the Vision. I didn't think we'd get much set photos from this, to be honest, at least not for a while. But the first one we get to see is actually the Vision, ironically. And they put him all in makeup. They don't CGI him one bit. So I think that's kind of cool to see him out there filming stuff.
All warmed up in his nice fuzzy little jacket.
He is. He's got that Mind Stone in his head too there still. So we got that to look forward to. So Infinity War coming around the corner. I guess a year and 5 weeks. So there we go. So these are some photos I sent over to you earlier this week. It's kind of like in jest, but some Black Panther photos. He's apparently they're filming it, and he's riding on top of a car, which we know he does well from Civil War. He loves his car rides.
Yes, he can latch onto any hood or roof of any moving vehicle out there with ease.
And this is kind of cool to kind of see the production kind of going down on this. Including, like how they have the car in front of them. It looks like the road's wet even. But like they're not getting any of the splatter up on the car while they're filming. Some with like a guard on the back of the other one. So
they're professionals, Chris. So is this supposed to be a set photo from Infinity War or from Black Panther's movie?
This is Black Panther's solo film.
Oh, so I think the biggest takeaway you look from this is this does not look like Wakanda to me at one little bit at all. I kind of assumed the entire movie might take place in Wakanda. So he is obviously out there on the street. There's no license plate from what I can see in front of this car, so maybe this is America, or at least it's a country where the license plates don't go in the front of the car. I mean, it's a Lexus, so you can't really discern exactly what country this is. So I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he goes back to the United States.
Yeah, I still think maybe it's downtown Wakanda. I may not know, but I mean, I honestly don't know. Like, it could be South Africa, maybe. I don't know if he'd necessarily go back to the United States, but there are definitely maybe some other cities around Africa he could visit. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. Is it really raining, or do you think they wet down the whole streets and stuff, Mike, with this? That's my question.
You know what? It could be. But how much information could we possibly get, whether it's raining or not?
I don't know. I think that there's also a camera mounted to the hood of the car. It looks like it's suction cupped on there. So I don't know. This is fun. It was fun to see this. I sent one it's like him driving away, and you can just see Black Panther ass as far as the eye can see on that one. So
the Black Panther always just looks badass. So that suit just came together so well at the end.
Yeah, it did. And so I'm really excited to see how that turns out in this one as well going forward. Spider-Man Homecoming hit us with some stuff this week as well. 3 new posters in a row here. The first one I'm going to talk about was someone, I'm calling it Here's Your Sign, and it's Spider-Man on a Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx exit sign with a city in the background. I think these were each released by a different Spider-Man or Marvel company. Like, one's like Marvel UK, one was Marvel like Europe or something like that.
Yeah, they all kind of have like a painterly quality to them. Like, I think from the if you kind of take a step back from them, like minimize them, like in scale, they do kind of look like maybe photos. But when you get a little closer, it kind of has this weird mixture of maybe really high fidelity comic book cover almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Spider-Man is well too lit in all of these compared to the rest of his surroundings, especially where the sun's coming from. The second one, the first one has the city on the bottom, but the second one, he's actually attached to Avengers Tower with the rest of New York behind him. Mm-hmm. So he's definitely moving around town a little bit, hanging out in his little Spider-Man onesie there. So that's cool. And then the first poster that was released is one called Homework Can Wait, where he's in his little jacket listening to music with the city behind him. Yeah. So
two little Easter eggs that you can take away from all of these posters is, first of all, the Avengers Tower is in every poster. Even when he's on the Queen's sign, you can see it just back there off in the distance just a little bit. And also, one thing I just noticed while I was talking about you with this, if you look at that Brooklyn exit sign, you can see the shadow of the Vulture's wings coming across that sign, kind of behind Spider-Man there. So I guess that's supposed to hint at the fight that they'll be having.
Ooh, that is interesting. I did not notice that. I just thought it was like some poor shadowing job, or like the sign was pretty rough.
Well, that's what I thought at first. I was like, what are those shadows supposed to be on that sign? That doesn't make any sense because you brought up kind of the lighting on the character. But yeah, I mean, they're cool, acceptable posters. I don't think there's anything to go crazy about here. I think the Homework Can Wait poster is probably the most interesting one because he's just kind of chilling out there. I think in his like high school jacket, science club jacket or something like that, decathlon.
It's a Midtown School of Science and Technology. I think that's the school he goes to.
Yeah, that's probably the most interesting one out of them. But yeah, this is cool. I'm looking forward to the movie. Hopefully, Sony kept its dirty hands off of everything.
Yeah, I think they did. This looks fun. I mean, these posters are kind of fun as well. I saw someone make online earlier, including the Homework Can Wait poster, the first teaser posters for all the Marvel movies, the first 16 of them, and definitely a lot of them are dark and serious until this one, and then it's like, nope, he's bright, sunny, having some fun. So I don't know. I think that was cool. So that's fun. And lastly, with Spider-Man, the first actual bit of work, it looks like said some promo artwork and it looks like Steve Ditko inspired suit. But I think this is another poster we're gonna get. This quote unquote concept art or promo art looks like another poster. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be. It's kind of cool seeing all of the posters lined up like that you just sent over to me. But yeah, I think this does look like it could be another poster. I'm surprised they didn't put it with all of the other ones that they sent over. But yeah, it's always cool to see Spider-Man swinging around there. So
yeah, there may be more. We'll report it next week if they do. So, well, that's Spider-Man, and like you said, Sony hopefully kept their grubby little hands off of it. But Sony is not done with the Spider-Man universe, sadly. And we've got news that there are more Sony spin-off movies coming, Mike, in the form of Black Cat and Silver Sable.
Okay.
Right. So so initially in the last Amazing Spider-Man 2, Felicia Hardy, who went on to play Jyn Erso in Rogue One, was supposed to be the Black Cat. And so they're working on this. I guess there might be, I don't know if it's 2 movies or 1 movie with these female leads, but they've tapped Chris Yost, who wrote some of Thor and Thor the Dark World, a lot of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, a head writer on Earth's Mightiest Heroes, to write this movie. As much as I love Chris Yost, because I've got to interview him before and some of the work he's done, he did write the most recent Max Steel movie. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, I mean, I know what you're gonna say. There's no bright light at the end of this tunnel, Mike. I know that's what you're gonna say. But this series and Venom are not Spider-Man universe related. They are going to keep them away from Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, yeah, I think that's a big problem here. We were all hoping that when Marvel kind of got joint custody of Spider-Man, that they would at least have some say in the rest of the Spider-Man universe, but I guess that's not the case. Sony just wants to convolute things and make things difficult for themselves because they're just keeping more and more money away from them. I don't know if maybe they need to do this to to keep, I don't know, the rights over there. I don't know exactly what has to happen, but I don't know exactly how they're going to make us care about these characters because we haven't even seen them crop up in like a normal Spider-Man movie. So how are we kind of supposed to attach ourselves to them? We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully they don't get shoehorned into Homecoming so they can dovetail into their own movies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to be in Homecoming at all. Like, these are not part of the MCU whatsoever, so we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just going to be basically superheroes that aren't attached to Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know. Felicia Hardy, I think, is only entertaining if she's somehow palling around with Spider-Man. So if Spider-Man's not going to be in the movie, why do I care?
Well, I don't think anyone cares about Black Cat and Silver Sable. I'm sorry to the one person who does, who may listen to this show. But I think that one could be okay on its own, standalone. Venom, however, I find to be the hardest thing here, and we do have some news on Venom, because they've classified it as a sci-fi horror film, and that is like, as that's what the genre is gonna fall into, and that makes me think, again, that movie that just came out, Life, that just came out with Ryan Reynolds. Is it going to be like that? Is it going to be like kind of like the movie Alien or maybe Alien Covenant? How can they do Venom justice without the Spider-Man origin to it?
Yeah, I mean, the last time that they tried to do kind of a horror-related superhero movie was kind of Fantastic Four, the last one, where I believe the director said that he kind of wanted to do a body horror type thing, but that all fell apart, but that was for many different reasons. But when I see sci-fi horror, I just see, excuse to throw a rated R rating on it to try to get that rated R box office that seems to be popular now thanks to Deadpool. So, I mean, I think a rated R Venom
Logan.
Yes. I think a rated R Venom movie could work, but I just don't think we need it. I'll just reiterate what I said last week. Let's just get Venom in a decent Spider-Man movie and just fix what we got last time, because that Spider-Man 3 was garbage and Venom was in there and it just didn't work out for all of us. So, this just kind of reminds me of that short that we got a while ago called Truth in Journalism, where from that bootleg Marvel universe. I don't remember the guy who made it, but that was kind of cool because it's kind of like a slow burn at the very end. Venom kind of is revealed. So I could see a standalone Venom story maybe working, but I just need it in Spider-Man's world first to really care,
Well, I get it, and I think you're jumping to conclusions really quickly with the rated R stuff. I just don't think Venom works on its own.
I am so betting it's going to happen. I mean, Sony is just doing anything that they can to keep their studio alive, and I think they'll jump on that rated R bandwagon like that. I don't even question it.
I do. I think because if they ever do want to tie it into Spider-Man, they can't do that.
It's obvious they don't want to.
I don't know if they don't want to. I think it's just like, we have to do this to keep Addy Grant. No, not Addy Grant. The guy who did the Amazing Spider-Man and ruined all the other movies. I forget who it is. Avi Arad. That's who it is. Out of this, so we have to give him something. I think that's his little playground. He's like, as long as I get Venom, I won't bitch and moan about Spider-Man too much. I don't know. I just don't think Venom can work on its own regardless, but we're gonna have to deal with it when it hits it anyway. So we'll just keep you posted as that news comes about. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Got pushed down here. I'm not sure why, because it should have been up with the Marvel news. Chris, I'm dropping the ball over here. But the next episode, which comes back, I don't think it's not this Tuesday, but in 2 Tuesdays, is called What If, which was ironically because probably an hour before I read that article, I was talking about how they should call this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a What If, because it's Agents of Hydra kind of thing. But they released a bunch of promotional art of like Hydra propaganda going forward for S.H.I.E.L.D. The last part of the season, and it's like it's Hydra against Inhumans. They're against Inhumans. Hydra's like, they won the Triskelion thing. This is kind of like, what if Winter Soldier didn't happen? Or what if Winter Soldier went the way that it was supposed to, where Captain America was either killed or went to jail and everybody won. So the more I see this, the more like Inhuman stuff, I'm really interested to see how the season finishes out. I'm not used to having a break this long in between it, so I just thought the art was cool and like this propaganda stuff was interesting. Mike, did you get anything out of it?
It seems like it might be cool. I just kind of wish we had some more Agent Carter to watch during this break.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not used to the Marvel break, but thankfully we've had Legion to make up for that. And I've definitely enjoyed watching Legion in the meantime. So when it comes back April 4th, we don't have to. We'll cover it at the end of the season because it can't cross over with Guardians, like we said. So it's definitely going to be interesting that works. The X-Men TV show called Gifted is still going along as much to our dismay. What should be good though? Fox has been on a roll lately, but filming has started on the pilot, and we got our first picture of Amy, I believe Acker, in her role, and they're just filming. It looks like in a car on a set. So
yeah, well, you say Fox has been on a roll, but really it has been a combination of FX. And also the people that told Fox, no, we're going to make Logan rated R and it's going to be good and you're just going to have to deal with it. And we'll even lower our paychecks to make it. So I don't know if I'd say Fox has been on a roll, but I don't know. We've talked about how shattered this X-Men universe is up and down the show. So I don't know. Maybe this will just make things worse or maybe it'll make things better. We'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think there are things to be learned because the people in charge of Gifted were almost the same people in charge of Legion. So we'll have to see how this plays out. I'm not sure where this is going to go, where it's going to fit in, what time frame it's in. So I just have to keep it by ear. I'm going to stay moderately interested, but not enough because we have too many TV shows on our plate as it is.
I think what you do is you hold up your pointer finger, you hold up your middle finger, and you cross them together. Keep those fingers crossed.
Oh, I thought you were going to lower your pointer finger again, knowing Mike's view on the X-Men universe, so we'll go with that. Deadpool 2, I guess this is another big hit this week. Two rumors come up here that Brad Pitt is up for the role of Cable.
Yeah.
Mike, some people were like, yes, we're for it. Some people were like, no, we're not for it. What do you think? I don't know if I really got your thoughts on this.
Well, I think the last time we talked about Cable, we talked about how the maybe the guy who played the sheriff in Stranger Things was kind of maybe circling the role. And I guess the speculation that Pierce Brosnan was going to play Cable kind of dropped off. You know, I think we kind of think that he might be the villain in the movie possibly, but we're not entirely too sure. But honestly, I was just surprised to see someone of Brad Pitt's caliber to be kind of in contention for this role. I mean, obviously, whether it ends up happening or not, it was enough of a concern for the studio to at least put him in some concept art. So someone obviously drew his likeness as Cable because someone thought it would be a good idea. It's this kind of weird nexus of a huge star like Brad Pitt, where his career is kind of winding down just a hair bit enough to where he wants to be in a superhero movie, but also he's going to be in a superhero movie that could possibly be a big moneymaker. So it's not like he's just going to be in like a random X-Men movie where he's just going to kind of like fall into place with other characters and not stand out. I mean, he's going to kind of be the second lead of this movie, basically, of a movie that could go on to make $1 billion. So it's a weird kind of casting when you think about it, but I think it could be cool. I mean, I know the ladies out there love looking at Brad Pitt, so I think he would be kind of cool and gruff. I mean, the concept art does do him favors. He looks pretty badass like that, so.
It does. So this is an interesting rumor on two fronts, because when I heard the rumor before, the concept art leaked 24 hours before. So I was like, great, this is cool. Then the concept art leaked 24 hours later. I'm like, great, this is an even more verification that there have been serious talks. They've paid serious artists to do this. This is a real thing that's going forward. Then lastly, within the past 2 days, Fox has issued takedown notices for all this concept art.
Yes.
We have spent a good 10 minutes before the show tracking down these broken links to this art because it was gone. All the places we normally have put it up and visit have been taken down. So this is kind of lining up to say Brad Pitt might be it, and this is like saying, hey, we need to do it, or this is Brad Pitt officially saying no, so we have to remove all this concept art before we get in trouble with his agent.
I feel like maybe it's going to be true because I know like Michael Shannon, I guess, was also kind of considered for the role. I think Brad Pitt is definitely a bigger pull for sure. So I think maybe that they were going to announce it. Maybe there's going to be a trailer or some sort of fanfare around it because it's a big deal to announce. So maybe they wanted just to control the announcement of it. So I hopefully he's still in contention because I kind of like the idea. So I'm okay with it. But if you want to check out this leaked concept art, head on over to our show notes and hopefully the link that is there is still live and hasn't been taken down. But also we found out if you just Google Deadpool 2 concept art, you can at least maybe see the thumbnails there that Google has cached. So
or head to our YouTube page because I've downloaded the mic and they will be in our YouTube video.
Sneaky.
So I thought ahead on this. They're not gonna get us. We're too under the radar. I also think Michael Shannon, who was also rumored to be the front runner now, I don't think he's gonna jump from Zod to Cable. If anything, I don't know if that's a lateral move. Maybe, I think Deadpool's a great franchise. Don't get me wrong, but moving from DC to Fox is kind of a lateral move. When I think Marvel would have been the way up if he could have got one of those roles. So, I don't know. I just don't. He looks like the villain Hammerhead from the Spider-Man universe without any makeup on already. So let's just make him Hammerhead and go from there. So
good idea.
Yeah, so that league concept right, and also there was one of Zazie Beetz as Domino in there as well. So since that's kind of confirmed now, you know, leaves more credence to this.
Yeah, she's looking a little bit more, I guess, pared down. You know, doesn't have like the white painted face. I don't know if Domino paints herself white or if she has white skin or if she's just fair skin or what the deal is. But Domino here is just kind of looking like dressed in some leather and has her Uzi, has kind of crazy hair. I don't know if her eye in this concept art is like just kind of wincing or. I don't really know what's going on there with her eye.
Do you see the white around it?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a tattoo or just there's some sort of weird photo.
No, Domino normally has she has chalk white skin from her genetic mutation. It's like kind of silvery skin with a black spot around her eye that's like a birthmark. So in this one, she obviously Zazie Beetz has black skin with a white spot around her.
I see. They're going the opposite direction. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah. So against concept art, nothing final. And for people who are like, well, this is what she could look like, you know, doing fan art, stop that because I hate it. Like that gets on my nerves more than anything. So, but this concept art is kind of cool. And then there's one shot of Deadpool in a Deadpool with an X-Men logo shirt, like T-shirt on over his costume. So
yeah,
it looks fun. I'm ready for Deadpool too. Probably one of the biggest things that hit this week, and I had so much fun with this, and it is the Justice League first official trailer, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
We watched it together right before the show again. I think Justice League is going to be a great movie. I'm very excited for Justice League, Mike.
All I can say is I hope you're right. I know you have a little bit more of an optimistic view on this movie, and I really hope that your thoughts ring true. I think you shouldn't be surprised if you hear anybody out there say they're worried.
Hype train. Hype train. Sorry.
I think you shouldn't be worried if you hear anybody out there kind of being maybe overly critical because I don't think DC has earned the trust yet. Because remember back, the Batman vs Superman trailer was cool also. They put that awesome part in there where Batman's taking down those people in the warehouse. People were so hyped for Batman vs Superman off the trailers. You know, we were a little upset because they pretty much showed Doomsday in that last trailer, or maybe it was the second to last trailer. I don't really remember. But we all were kind of holding out that maybe there was something more there, and there wasn't. I think there actually ended up being less. So I'm reserving my judgments based off this trailer. But I mean, there's fun stuff in it for sure. Seems like everybody gets their own little comedic relief there. Everybody gets their own joke. Aquaman there at the end yelling "Yeehaw" on top of the Batmobile. I mean, come on, that's cool. I mean, he
does get to surf the Batmobile as Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean, no matter which way you look at it, I mean, that's cool. I mean, there's cool stuff to enjoy in this trailer. I mean, you don't have to be necessarily a negative Nancy when you watch it, but you don't necessarily have to have a higher praise that the movie might end up being good. We still haven't seen Superman in it yet. We all know he's not dead. He's going to be coming back. So they're not pulling any wool over our eyes there.
Well, right. Right. Well, again, that's the same concept for the common viewer, the common person who watches this trailer and doesn't get into this stuff. So definitely not our listeners, because they did that with the Winter Soldier, putting the makeup, the mascara over his eyes in the trailer for Bucky, and it was all digitally added because in the final shots in the movie he didn't have it to leave that surprise. So hopefully, I mean, we know he's coming back. I actually have a tweet pulled up right now that someone has found in the source code on the Justice League website of a Superman image and his profile coming. Like, it's already built into the website that he's coming. So they're of course not getting us. I think, to me, Zack Snyder works when he's not trying to tell a story and just wants to show some cool action scenes tied together. And I think Justice League doesn't really need to tell a story. They kind of got us with Batman v Superman. Like, yes, this big bad alien is coming to Earth to take over. Just show us the battles. And I think showing the parademons get hit, Aquaman tridenting like 3 of those together, like that was really cool. The Speed Force, Billy Crudup as the Flash's father, that's a reteam with Watchmen. Batman shooting some parademons with his little Batmobile. There was a lot of awesome moments, and I hope that this is just one big thrill ride from start to finish. I don't want there to be any lulls. And this trailer didn't give me any lulls. However, the trailer did change the song like a third of the way through, from the hardest button to button to Come Together. And I'm like, who cut this trailer music? Like, why did you stop one song and go to the other one? That was probably my biggest complaint.
I mean, I think we could talk about this trailer in depth because so much has happened. But I think you don't really know what you can take from it, honestly. You just don't know, because it's the exact same people that made Batman vs. Superman. It's the exact same type of trailer where we're super hype about it. So, I mean, if you're following along the equation, we will be disappointed with Justice League. So you're somewhere along the line, you're hoping a variable is dropped somewhere in that equation that changes the outcome. So, I mean, I can enjoy the fun parts in the movie. I mean, in the movie trailer, like, it was funny where Batman says his superpower is being rich. You know, it's cool seeing like Batman like fly around like killing stuff. Cyborg still looks kind of weird, so maybe just the CG isn't finished rendering on his face or something, because it just doesn't really look real to me yet. So I don't really know what's happening there. So there's definitely fun parts in this trailer. I'm not saying there isn't. I mean, you get the obvious Zack Snyder, crotch shot on Wonder Woman, and Batman vs Superman. It was the front of her crotch. In this trailer, it's the back of her crotch. So I guess Zack Snyder has to get some of that Wonder Woman stuff in there. So I mean, you get it all. You get the awesome fighting. You get a little ass from Wonder Woman. I mean, Zack Snyder's shown us what the audience wants to see. I guess I just hope it translates to the theater. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I mean, to me, the variable is feedback and the change of hands at the company. I think this one doesn't have to be anything more than just an action route from start to finish. And to me, Zack Snyder knows how to do action. That's all he knows how to do. No story, no connecting pieces.
I mean, that's true. I mean, 300 was just nothing but action, and that turned out well. You just gotta hope. You just gotta hope this works. Maybe Zack Snyder. Maybe it just comes down to a coin flip with this guy. And hopefully the coin lands heads up for this movie and not butt down. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. So I also want to point out we get to see Mara for the first time underwater. We haven't got to see her other than just set photos. So more to that, and then there appears to be the history of the battle, which is rumored to be the Amazonians and the Mer people, whatever they're called, Atlanteans, versus parademons, or the initial try to take over of Earth for the mother boxes. So just kind of looking. We have a gallery. It's like 70 shots that someone put up online, and just kind of going and looking through it. Shows off some of the stuff I do enjoy seeing in this. And we get to see J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. In the brief second we got of him, Mike, what did you think of him?
Yeah, I mean, he looked pretty cool. I mean, who doesn't love J.K. Simmons? So hopefully his role will continue into the Batman if that movie ends up getting made. Yeah. I don't know. So
yeah, it was a maybe last week, so we don't know. But I mean, he definitely has the mustache and the hat for it. So yeah. So there's that. And Aquaman used to be like everyone ripped on Aquaman, but now he's like the coolest part of this team right now. Like,
yeah, well, I think it's a combination.
He's got that swagger.
Yeah, well, I think it's a combination of casting Jason Momoa, and he looks just badass in that costume. So, I mean, the characters have always looked badass. I mean, when it comes down to their designs, we love the Batman costume, we love the Aquaman costume. The Superman costume looks pretty good, too. So, because they took the underwear off him, and I think that was a good idea. So, yeah, the characters always look cool. The shit always looks really, really cool. That's all I have to say.
See, I didn't think anything in Batman v Superman looked cool before I saw it. I think this one definitely has me more hyped than Batman v Superman did, at least in terms of quality and in terms of like actually delivering on a lot more action than one fight scene, because that was really kind of all we got in the first one. To me, again, everyone's like, "Oh, you hate DC, Chris?" I'm like, "No, I don't hate DC. I hate bad movies." But this one looks like one of those I can sit back and have fun, because Batman v Superman didn't have any jokes, didn't have any laughs, didn't have any fun. This one looks like, hey, the actors are having fun, therefore I can have some fun too, because they look like they enjoyed making this, because nobody looked like they had any fun making Batman v Superman. Just, they were like, Henry Cavill, frown. Good job. Shot.
Good job.
We are done
Good
for the
job.
day. We got all the shots we need for this movie. He just frowned for a couple minutes.
It seems like they're going to have him in a coffin most of this movie anyway, so...
Yeah, well, we can only hope. But so, yeah, that's it for Justice League. Let us know what you thought of the Justice League trailer. Write us in, tweet at us, however you want to talk to us. I don't care. We will listen to you. We will listen to you very much so.
Yeah, how mad at me are you?
Yeah, do you agree with Chris or Mike on this one? Okay, not often do we come to different opinions on something. So when we're not agreeing, let us know which side you're on. But now I'm going to get to one of Mike's favorite parts of the show, when we get to talk about Alien Covenant, because Ridley Scott, maybe he didn't release it, but somebody has released the first poster for Alien Covenant, and I thought it was like, when like lava cools down, like it melts and cools down. I thought this was what I was looking at, but it looks like to be a mess of alien bodies and human bodies and face huggers, and something's going on here.
This seems pretty classic H.R. Geiger or Giger. I'm not really sure how you say his name. He's the kind of guy that invented kind of the art style for this alien stuff that Ridley Scott kind of ran with. I mean, didn't steal it anyway. I believe he hired H.R. Geiger to work on the movies with him. So, it's a cool looking poster, that's for sure. I guess they're going to need a lot more posters going forward, because I'm hearing that they're planning like 4 more Alien movies. So I don't really know what order those are supposed to be coming out in and what chronological order on the timeline. But
I can't wait till they do officially announce those, Mike. So we can go over that.
It's a cool poster, man. I like the poster.
I think it harkens back to the original Alien, that black and white like horror vibe kind of going on here. And to me, I mean, it's simplistic. It's like there's a lot of designs in there, but the simplicity of like, if you can make a poster black and white and it can sell the emotion and what it's supposed to do, then you've done your job.
This is kind of a movie poster that would have scared me as a kid. I always remember coming across like weird random VHS boxes when I was a kid with like these kind of bizarre like low rate horror movies that had these weird covers on them, and I was always just fascinated with them because they were really weird and scary. So this kind of reminds me of something that if it was printed on a VHS box, it would scare me as a kid.
It definitely does. Now, do you think those are humans, or do you think those are the engineers that are kind of being attacked by the aliens?
It kind of looks like them, because I think those engineers, they kind of had those big kind of noses, and it kind of looks like maybe you got a big bridge of a nose on that one guy there. So that is kind of what it looks like. Maybe this is kind of saying that the engineers could not contain their monsters that they made.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, they're all the quote unquote human-esque characters are all bald as well, so, and muscular. So I thought that as well.
Man, May 19th, I got some homework to do. I got to watch those Alien movies. I got to rewatch Prometheus.
Yeah, I think you just got to watch Prometheus, man. It's only the one before. It's the only one before this, but I'm not going to stop you from watching.
I'm watching all of them. I'm going to be an Alien expert, and I'm going to be able to tell you everything that's going on.
You know, great. I'm glad we got one. You should probably watch Alien 4 right before you go into the theater. That way, everything is uphill from there. Like, you can't get any worse than that.
Good idea.
So we'll go with that. Lastly, I mentioned at the top of the show, I did watch Power Rangers this weekend. I was asked to go on Saturday night, and I did see it. Do you want to hear my thoughts on a quick spoiler-free review on it?
Yeah, sure, man. I am not precious to this movie really at all. So yeah, lay it on. You saved it here for the end of the show. So if you want to spoil something, just go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, it's hard to spoil Power Rangers. Like it's if you've seen the show, you get it. So I think if you're a fan of the show, the original show, and it holds something in your nostalgia member berries part of your heart, you're probably gonna have a good time. However, it takes fucking forever to get to those like the good parts where you want to see the Rangers in the suits battling putties. You want to see the Zords battle, like when the Zords like morph together and form the Megazord. Like we know what the Megazord is. Don't they hit it in clouds and dirt and like fire stuff, and you're like, I want to see them morph together. In all honesty, it comes together better on the movie than like any of the promotional materials give it. So that kind of surprised me, and I didn't have a bad time. It didn't offend me, but it's just kind of an average movie. I definitely enjoyed watching it more than I watched Iron Fist, to throw it back to the top of the show. But I don't think anyone has to rush out to see it unless you're very precious on Power Rangers. Then you're probably already watching it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than that, yeah, it was fine. I honestly, the sequel, the next movie is they've built up all this other stuff on how they finally got to be Power Rangers. The next movie, when they just start out as Power Rangers and go in, fighting and kicking ass, that's the one that's going to be good. That's the one I want to see.
I hear that they're going to add the Green Ranger for the sequel. So, and I also hear they're going to make like 5 more Power Rangers movies. So Saban is really doubling down on this franchise. So it sounds like they're going to be around for a while. I still want my 3rd Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, damn it.
Well, see, Saban isn't doubling down. They've always had the TV show on for 20-something years. So they're not really doubling down. They just decided to, I guess, update it for the modern day. And, honestly, it's not part of the main universe. Like, it's not like these are the next Power Rangers. So
Chris, do not worry. I am not concerned about the Power Rangers universe.
I think we reported that originally, and now I'm like, you know what? That was very wrong. This is a very much a unique story of the characters. So it didn't offend me. I had an enjoyable time watching it with some people I've never been to the movies with before. So yeah, it's fine.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear the report.
It's better than Transformers is going to be. I'll tell you that right now. So
all right.
I know you wanted to hear that. I guess that's it for the show notes, Mike. We made it through all our news.
Yes, we did. We made it through the news. We made it through the spoiler cast. We did it.
It has been a day. I watched 5 hours of Iron Fist and then recorded 2.5 hours of show with you. So it is time to wrap it up. So Mike, if people want to know what you're up to, what you're doing in your free time, where can they find you at?
Well, they can follow me at Mike Royer Design on Twitter and Instagram, and you can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com. Chris, if people want to follow you, see if you're watching any other weird Power Ranger stuff, where can they find you at?
I'm not watching weird Power Ranger stuff. Don't you put that on me. You can find me on Twitter at Valdan.
I know what you're doing over there. You're Googling Power Rangers Rule 34. You want to see what's out there.
Oh, God. Now I do. Quick, open up the incognito browser. You can find my dirty Power Ranger browsing history on Twitter at Valdan, VALDAN. I will not post it up there. You can do that. You can also read my stuff on Comic UI, and this is where I'm going to take a moment to talk, or I guess promote, discuss the crowdfunding for the web series I filmed, Bagged and Board. For season 2 is now open. We've been up for a week. It's on Indiegogo, where there's tons of great perks you can get. So if you want to get a copy of the DVD, the digital soundtrack, we have a guy locally here who did all the music for the show here. If you want to hear his soundtrack, that's the way to get it. Some other cool perks. We'll be making videos for it throughout the process. It's really fun. So you can check it out on Indiegogo, Bagged and Board season 2. Mike got to watch some of the episodes this week.
I watched the Pog episode. That was surprisingly entertaining to watch, because usually when you jump into the world of web series, you're looking for diamonds in the rough. But I really enjoyed that episode.
Yeah, it was great because that was the one that made the Funny or Die front page as well this week. So getting to see the show on Funny or Die, I guess that's a good feeling. But as always, Mike, what if this is someone's first episode of Superhero Slate? Oh my gosh, they found us at 114. That means they got to listen to all the other ones to catch up, right?
Yeah, that's right.
No, wrong, Mike. We're the news. We're the weekly news show. We also do Spoilercast. But where else can they find us, Mike, if they want to know all the stuff that we do?
Well, as always, please visit superheroslate.com. That is the best place to find all the avenues we host the show and our show notes. So if you want to track down those leaked Deadpool 2 concept art stuff, we got that up there for you. So you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Tumblr. Subscribe and get us right in your email inbox. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on Instagram. And you can pick up some Superhero Slate merch like t-shirts over at superheroslate.com/store. If you're a fan of this show, please consider leaving us a review, leaving us a like, a comment. We love hearing your feedback, and we always respond to that whenever we can. And if you're a super fan of the show, consider leaving us not a review. I already said that, man. It's a Sunday. All right. So what you want to do is you just want to share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we will be here every week. And that's it. That's the show. We did it, man.
We made it? Is it over?
We made it. We did it.
We got it? Oh, okay, great. So now I can go edit these down and put these up on the internet so people can listen to us. So if you've made it this far through all our show and all the stuff that we do at the end, thank you for listening, and we will be back next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah! That's like the weirdest noise he's made.